Astronomers at the European Space Agency have used a unique telescope to capture the largest, most detailed image ever taken of the visible light pouring from the centre of the Milky Way. Researchers said these new images marked the start of a new age of discovery of planets outside Earth's solar system. Dr Rebecca Allen is an astronomer from Swinburne University of Technology. She wasn't involved in this research but has seen the images and joins us now live from Melbourne to tell us what we're looking at. Thank you so much for talking to us. I mean, these are staggering images, aren't they? Tell us what we're seeing and we'll show our viewers the pictures.
Absolutely. So first of all, I want to point out that this telescope that we have in space now, its primary function was not to look at the stars and take these pictures. And so it's actually taken time out of its main science mission, which is trying to help us understand the 3D mapping of galaxies and cosmology, to turn and actually look into our own galaxy. So what we're seeing is this incredible definition. All of these points of light you see, these are stars within our own galaxy. And what I love about this image that is put together is, if you want to think in terms of pictures on your smartphone, we think about pictures being 5 or 6 megabytes, and that's a large image. This one itself is 6 gigabytes in size, and it's captured over 60 million individual stars. Now, why that's important is because the movement of stars, that belies underneath, it could be black holes, planets. So it's incredible because, like never before, we're getting this high resolution, very large scale image of all of these stars. And that's so important for understanding how our own Milky Way came to be, how planetary systems like our own came to be. So we're really excited to see this.
When we're looking at those particular shots, Rebecca, I mean, how big is the space that they occupy in space, if you like? I mean, what fraction of the Milky Way are they, and how far away are they from us?
Oh, that's a terrific question. So when we're looking at images like this, we're actually capturing everything that's in the foreground and that's in the background. That's what makes actually studying our own galaxy so tricky, is because we're inside of it. And so we actually have to look through everything. And so that's why in some of these images, you see this real kind of difference where it looks like there's these kind of clouds that are in the way. And the Euclid Space Telescope, it sees invisible light, just like our eyes. And so some of the coloring that you see in these images was actually taken from ground-based observations where you could see different types of light to kind of build that picture. So what we're actually seeing, though, is a larger fraction of the galaxy than we've really ever seen before taken with these images. And so what we're seeing in terms of degrees is about 25 full moons worth of the sky, which is a tremendous amount of distance. We're talking billions and billions and billions of kilometers wide. And then the distance stretching really towards the center of the Milky Way, which is again such a large number that it's even hard for us to fathom. But that's what's so important, is to understand how the stars kind of around our local neighborhood of the Milky Way and how they change as they get closer and closer towards the center, where we see more and more of them. That helps us understand what we call the distribution of matter in our galaxy and how it formed and how it changes over time.
And in those sparkly images, are there planets in there as well?
Yes, absolutely. So the Euclid telescope took this image, but really it's helping scientists and astronomers prepare for another telescope that will hopefully launch next year, called the Nancy Roman Grace telescope. Now that telescope, it will see slightly redder wavelengths of light, and its primary objective will really be to look at the stars and look for things, a phenomenon that we call microlensing. So I was talking about the kind of little movements of stars and this little distortion of light that we see from stars, which actually, instead of seeing the stars directly, what we're seeing is indirect observations of planets. And so this is exciting because our current techniques of finding planets outside of our solar system and around distant stars, we're really seeing the biggest planets that are super, super close to their stars. Whereas this might help us find even more. Again, we've seen thousands of planets that are outside of our solar system. We're hoping to increase that and see hundreds of thousands of planets. So it's really exciting that not only are we seeing the brightest, most large systems in our universe with this telescope, but it's allowing us to see something we didn't even realize it could by hoping that we can see black holes and planets as well.
Fabulous. Astronomer Dr Rebecca Allen, thank you.
You're welcome.